Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'd like to share a few tips on how to get through long-haul flights on FSX. You might also be using X-Plane or Flight Simulator 2004. No matter what, I'm just also basically for FSX I'm going to give you a few tips how to get through long-haul flights. Because if you do want to fly like from London to New York or London to Los Angeles to Sydney or Hong Kong to London, Amsterdam to Cape Town, such long routes that take about 12 to 16 hours. Those are very long flights, and you need to just know a few tips how to get through them a lot easier. Okay, we'll start with the first tip. Tip number 1 is, which I also always do on such long flights, is to speed up the time in the game from average to about 16 times speed. 16 times speed is the maximum speed in the game that's allowed with the autopilot engaged. You can go up to 128 times speed, but then you have to disconnect the autopilot, and for such a long haul flight, even though it's going to make things a lot shorter, it won't do any good to having to fly the plane manually for a few hours during their flight. So I suggest you just do 16 times speed. What I always do is I use average speed, the normal speed for takeoff and landing. I use 4 times speed for ascent and descent, and 16 times speed for cruise flight. I find it the best and most easy way to get through such long haul flights, like a flight that goes maybe 16 hours or so, or also 12 hours, because at 16 times speed, instead of being in cruise for 12 hours, you're only in cruise for about an hour or so, or a bit less. So it's pretty cool. It's really good advice, and it's a good idea to do. It's a good thing to do to speed up time in the game. The second thing, which I don't do but I can recommend, you can do it if you want, is to go on your map, and actually cheating is to put the plane maybe on a different place on the map to shorten your flight time. It's unrealistic, but you can do it if you want. Okay, those are 2 things. So either advance the time in the game and make it go faster, or put the plane, move it on the map to get somewhere, skip a few thousand miles to fly. However, the second tip, there is a disadvantage I find, and that is if you really want to fly over the Alps or you fly over the ocean, you might miss a few sites, and that I find it very disappointing. That's why I never do it. I just increase time in the game. That's the best idea. Let's increase time up to 16 times speed. So then you're pretty much, the longest flights take up to 18 hours. So then you're just flying in real life for a bit over an hour. It's a bit unrealistic, but it's the best idea I find to get for a long haul flight. Now, things you can do when you're flying, like if you always do long haul flights, I suggest you start always at different airports, and you fly not only a day, but you also take off at night, or you fly different routes and not always the same route back and forth, because that gets boring. The same thing is pick a different plane. Like if you flew with a 777 a few times, I suggest you try to fly into an A340, or take an Airbus A330 or a 757 for your next route. Like you can take, if you've flown a few Boeings, try to fly a few Airbuses for your next flights to switch around a bit, because you can't always be flying the same plane. You understand what I mean? It gets boring after a while. Yes. Yes, the best idea I find is just to speed up time, and that's my best recommendation for getting through long haul flights. Another thing I want to talk about is what you can do while you're cruising around between your departure and your destination. What you can do to pass the time when the plane is flying. It's the game is at a high time rate. It's like at 16 times speed, and the plane is flying, but still takes maybe an hour or so until you reach your destination. What you basically just have to do is switch between tower frequencies. As you like fly one country, then you have to contact the tower and just say your call sign and your flight level, and that's all. All couple of minutes you have to switch something. That's not a lot. That's why yes, what you can do when you're just flying around cruising altitude, there's nothing much to do. But I suggest you can do something you'd like you can maybe take your phone, watch a part of a movie, or you can read a book, or you can maybe eat something to pass the time. But just keep in mind, as long as you're flying at 16 times speed, you're gonna arrive to your destination sooner than you think. So what's not good is if you forget the time, you think, yes, it's such a long flight, I still have a few hours to go, but that's wrong, because if you're at 6.5 speed, no flight is gonna take 2 hours. So that's why it's very important to always just keep in mind, keep the GPS, look at the GPS every few minutes to see how far you are, and also set a point when you want to descend. Like I always descend about 200 nautical miles, around 200 nautical miles from my destination. That allows me to have still enough time to descend from 36 or 40,000 feet down to 10,000 feet, so I don't have to rush to get down when I'm nearing my destination. It takes practice, and it takes time to get to know it, but once you get the hang of it, you will immediately know how it works and how it's done. It's not so hard to do. You just need some time to get used to it. Yes, so those are my tips. Just like increase simulation rate, put the plane on a different location on your map, or do something while you're cruising along. Do something else, like read a book, or watch a movie, or eat something, or just maybe relax, just lie down briefly. Yes, but the time machine is really a very good thing. I always use it. I just fly average speed for maybe about 10 minutes between for takeoffs and landings, and a bit of the ascent. I just cheat and advance the time, like I said before, 4 times for takeoff and landing, 4 times for ascent and descent, and for cruise I just use 16 times speed. Yes, and that's pretty much it. And yes, I wish you nice flights, which on FSX or whichever flight simulator you're using, and have a nice day.